Okay, Giant team members, as promised in this last video lecture, we're going to just talk a little bit, real quickly, about what we can expect moving forward in this class. So this would be more like an introduction to the class than kind of a last video lecture of what to expect moving forward, or a roadmap moving forward. But since your book operates that way, we'll do it too. So, what we've learned so far is that change management is, number one, it's a little bit of fuzzy of a topic. There's disagreement in the literature, and there's some confusion as a practitioner about how do I actually go about change, and what level of change, what depth of change, what type of change do I go about. So really, those are the topics that we're going to be going through in the book. So also within this week is going to be chapter 2, where we talk about images of managing change, and that deals with our own thoughts and our own mental models of what the world is and how the world operates, and what is the role of ourselves and others within that idea that we have. And these are things that we talked a lot about in our second class. So you'll see how some of these things come together, some of these things we talked about previously, especially when we're talking about things like change management. Then we'll talk about some of the contemporary issues, some of the pressures, some of the drivers of change, and we've looked at that briefly in another. There's economic, there's technological, there's socio-cultural issues. We could even say environmental issues that could be on the horizon that are driving change. And then we'll talk about what to change. It's a diagnostic approach, almost similar to what we looked at in process improvement. Chapter 5 is what changes do we make. Number 6, we're going to revisit our mission, our purpose, our vision when we're talking about change management. 7 is going to be a great chapter talking about communication strategies specifically related to change. So, one of the things cited about why change fails is from poor communication. So we're really going to look at and spend some time on those communication strategies. Chapter 8 is probably one of my favorite, resistance to change, and this is largely coming from the work of Kurt Lewin, where he talked about force field management and why people resist change and how to overcome that resistance to change. So you have resistance coming this way, and you have kind of change coming this way, and if we could just remove those barriers or the resistance to change what happens. So we'll talk a lot about that in chapter 8. Organizational development and sense-making approaches, chapter 9. This is when we start getting to more practical tools and techniques associated with change. Some of the agreed-upon literature about how do we make change happen. And then there's some different perspectives of change management, which is chapter 10. And I believe that's as far as we'll get over the course of the 5 weeks. So I look forward to, it's kind of bittersweet, right? I look forward to going through this class, introducing you, teaching you these topics, but then at the end we're going to be finished up together. But at the end of this class, you are going to have 18 college credits that are transferable to just about any institution around the globe. So let's go ahead and we'll get through this class, and we'll see what change management has to offer.